scrappy friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Hannah, and I have a layout that I did a while ago, and this is using the January hip kit, and I'm just working on some mixed media. I just sewed the background of this, and I sprayed a little bit of that soft pink. It has a little bit of mica in it. It's the Marion Smith Color Lab, so you can make your own colors, and it was just like a super soft pink. And I just wanted something just for a little bit of the background, but then I'm going to be adding some more, so I'm doing this. And this is the ink. And I just kind of want it to look a little bit like confetti, and I wanted more prominent flowers, so I'm using this Lindy Stamp Gang pink, and it's the flat Fabio, so it has no shiny, like no mica in it, so it's not shiny, which I really like. And I'm just spraying some spots, and I'm using that other piece of cardstock to make it so that I only get it in the spots that I want, and I just put it in a few spots. And in the close-ups, you can see it a little bit, but it's not very prominent, and that's kind of what I wanted. So I added a little bit of that Distress re-inker to this modeling paste. It's just plain modeling paste. I think that was the Ranger that I used, but I'm not positive because I have a couple of different brands. And essentially, I find that most of them are pretty similar. If you like something really, really light, going for a lighter or a whipped modeling paste is nice because it's nice and light, but there are some like the Teresa Collins that is a lot thicker. I like the lighter because it dries a lot quicker, and I'm just using that stencil from, I think it's a Donna Downing stencil, and it just looks like scripty font, and I just went over in that diagonal. I'm just kind of following the same pattern, and then here I'm just using some of these ink splatters, the spray, to make some ink splatters. And I'm thinking I want to use this gray Chamel American Crafts pen to do an outline. And at first I was going to use the ruler, and then I decided that I really like it without it. And I do use this quite a few times. Whoops, I just hit my mic. to make quite a few lines because I really want it to look scribbly. And also, this is a pretty light color, so it's not like it's going to show up like a black marker would. In the kit, there was some rub-ons, and I'm not digging the colors. They're a lot more yellow based than like a white base, so they're more creamy looking, and the colors are a little bright. I don't really think they match with the kit, to be honest with you, but sometimes you don't have that luxury when you're trying to get new stuff in kits to have everything match all perfect, and sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of a different color base. So but I thought I would try to use them a little bit because I usually don't use them and then they go bad. So I'm thinking that these gold and this triangle-y type of pattern will look really cute, just sparse throughout, and you end up only seeing 3 of them anyway. And so I was kind of trying to be particular about where I put them, and I should have just been like, whatever. But you know, sometimes that's how it is. You work a little bit harder to get the background all nice, and then you do cover it up. And I think that with mixed media, you kind of have to have an idea of if you're okay with covering up a lot of what you're doing, or if you want to not do that and just be intentional about where you put your mixed media. Because I knew I probably was going to be doing a lot of covering things up, I wasn't super careful about where I was putting everything. So now I'm working on my layers, and I picked that teal color to border my photo. This is an older photo that I took and printed at home. when me and my husband first got married, we bought one of those Picture Mate printers that you just hook your camera up to it and you can take the pictures off of your camera. And we used to take and print off photos all the time, but it's really hard to find the paper now for that kind, and actually I don't even know if we know where the cords are. I wish that it still worked because it was really nice. So it was similar to like the selfie type of concept, except for it didn't hook up to the like internet or anything. So but I really liked it because it was really easy to stick your camera and, you know, your phone in there. And I know that like my home printer, I can do that, but it's much easier. And now that I edit my photos, I like to, you know, play around with the colors just a little bit, but this was one that I had already did. Anyway, so it's really dark. I mean, it's not edited, but that's okay. And I just love how my daughter looks. She's so cute. She's a little bit over a year, I think, here. And this is my oldest daughter, Leilani. She was so happy and a smiley baby back then. Actually, all my children were happy children. And I'm just kind of working on the layers. I really want lots of color to play around with that background. And I like that black and white. I'm really digging the black and white. I know I've been saying this. I'm going to sound like a broken record probably by the end of this month as well. But I'm really liking black and white right now. And I really like that really stark white with the black. So I'm just kind of fooling around. I know I want to add this pink in here, but I'm not really sure exactly how I want to do it. And I did kind of cut it, and you're going to see I'm going to end up taking that other piece that I had cut off the edge and just kind of tucking it in. And I like how you can just take little tiny pieces and just kind of fit them in where you think that they work. And I find that with layers, that having them not all line up and having some pieces be bigger and some pieces be smaller, it works out better. But I mean, I think it's also based on your preference. Like, what does your eye like? I mean, if it looks good to your eye, then chances are you're going to love the way the layering turns out and you're going to play more with it. And I find that the more I layer, the better I get. And when I don't do it as often, I don't care for it as well. So like, yeah. So I feel that like you should just play and do what you think looks good for you, because in the end it is your layout, right? It's going to be sitting in your album, and if you like it, then who cares if everybody else does it? That's my opinion. But, you know, I mean, it does take a little while to get those layers and to just figure out which lines look better than other lines. And I really like it when you add different textures, which is why I kind of cut some of those layers and I rip them and stuff. So now I'm kind of thinking about what can I tuck in to the layers to make them fun. And there wasn't really a whole lot of pieces. Actually, that's a pink paisley piece that I took. I know I used a lot of my kit for this, but I did add some stuff like that. Happy is not part of the kit, and that is from Pretty Little Studios, and I love it. It has this watercolor look to it. I thought about using that Hello because it has that brush script font as well, just to tie in a little bit more of that, but I just couldn't make it work. And of course, I'm going to try to use a couple of frames, and those don't work either. I do pick out that little black one, and I kind of like how that black, it just tucks out. I am going to use that pinwheel, and that is from Crepe Paper. Oh my goodness. And now I have to think about that. It's a really old collection that came out like a long time ago when I first started. And so I really like that. It adds some gold, even though it has a glitter gold, but it ties in the gold to each of the clusters. And for some reason, I lost the rest of this video. So you just kind of missed me picking a couple other little die cuts and pieces. But here are the close-ups. I hope you guys enjoy this. Oh yeah, I forgot that I added all that twine, or the thread in the hot pink. It looks amazing, doesn't it? So I love how this turned out, and I hope you guys like it. And I will be sharing a lot more videos with you. I have to get editing the the joys of being a YouTuber is editing, right? Anyway, so I have a ton of more videos that I have lined up. I just have to get them up. So I will see you guys later, and I hope you guys have a great weekend.